नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिने इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य। सो गौरांग महाप्रभु, आज ऑल ऑफ यू नो ब्रजेंद्र नंदन जय सत्सुत हईल से बलराम हईल निताई। श्री Krishna Bhagavan, he came as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And there are different reasons why Krishna came as Gauranga. And one reason also where Krishna came as Gauranga Mahaprabhu to teach us how to do bhakti unto Krishna. It is said that apane acharya dharma jibere sikhaye. By his own behavior, acharan, he taught people. So thus we see the whole life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through his pastimes, his own behavior of his devotees, his teaching whole world, full of teaching, Shiksha. So Mahaprabhu, he himself did not give big class or anything like that. All he was doing, telling people, just chant Hare Krishna. Whomever he sees, he says just chant Hare Krishna. Because the purpose of discussing scriptures, this, that, everything is to come to a point to develop faith and holy name, Nama. Then from that Nama you can get a prema. That was his goal. How to make people, how to engage people chanting holy name. But also he gave lot of teachings, not to common people, to specific personalities like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Then Jagannath Puri he taught to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, then Prakashananda Saraswati. So through these 5 personalities, Mahaprabhu taught many philosophical points to establish on the basis of scriptures that how bhakti is the highest. In bhakti, prema bhakti is the highest. And to achieve this prema bhakti, the process is very simple. Just chant holy name. Chira adadata nijagupta bita so prema nama mritamatutaram. Nijagupta bita, the hidden treasure. So Mahaprabhu, through Sada Goswamis, Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath, through these Sada Goswamis, he spread his teachings all over the place. Each Goswami, out of the Sada Goswamis, each Goswami is very prominent, famous for a specific things. So Vrindavan, first 2 Goswamis, they went to Vrindavan, Lokanath Goswami and Bhugarva Goswami. Then Rupa Sanatana went, then Jiva Goswami also joined them, then Raghunath Das Goswami also joined them. So among all these Sada Goswamis, Raghunath also is very special because he is like personification of Vairagya, renunciation. Raghunath Das Goswami came from very high class family. His father Govardhan Majumdar, his uncle Hiranyadas Majumdar, they are very rich people, Kayastha family. They used to collect tax for the king. That time they used to pay some 10 or 15,000 coins as tax. They would collect from the people, villagers, and give 1/4 of it, and then they gave to the king. That was their. So just imagine how much money that time they are having. So the point is, Raghunath Das Goswami was very much blessed by Srila Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, after changing his residence from place to place, finally for some time he was there in a village called Chandpur, near Raghunath Das Thakur's house, Chandpur. So that time Haridas Thakur would see Raghunath Das. Just by seeing him, such a nice boy, he would feel very happy. So our Acharya is saying that how Raghunath Das Goswami was blessed from his childhood. He has received the mercy of Haridas Thakur. How did he receive the mercy of Haridas Thakur? If we see any sadhu, sannyasis, we beg them, please give me your blessings, give me your blessings. Sometimes people they try to touch the feet of devotees. Oh, I should get blessings. So what is the blessings? How can we get it? Is that sadhu sannyasis, they are having blessings in their Godrej almirah. They'll open the almirah, put into envelope 1 kilo blessings and hand over to you. Is that the way how to get blessings? No. How to get the blessings that Raghunath Das Goswami life we can learn it. Now all it happened that Haridas Thakur was very happy to see him. That's it. That is the way of getting the blessings of Vaishnavas. If some Vaishnava just by seeing us, by hearing us, by watching our behavior, for any reason he feels pleasure in his heart. That's it. That is the blessings. That is the way to get the blessings. That how much pleasure we can create within the heart of the devotees. So thus Raghunath was very much blessed by Srila Haridas Thakur in his childhood time. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, he was on his way to Vrindavan. Then from one particular place, he was tricked by Nityananda Prabhu and brought back to Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur. On that time, Raghunath Das Goswami went to see him. He was very young that time and he wanted to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Mahaprabhu said, no, don't show your Markata Vairagya. Better you go, stay in your house. Externally, you do all your household activities. Internally, you practice your Vairagya. Externally, you don't do your Vairagya like Markata means monkey renunciation. Monkeys, they live in forest like Muni Rishis. Muni Rishis, at least they have a cottage. Monkeys, they have no cottage even if they are more austere than Muni Rishis. Muni Rishis, at least they use kaupin, but monkeys, they have no kaupin also. They are so renounced. They stay in the forest, they eat fruits and roots like Muni Rishis. Everything same. But within their heart, they are very lusty also. So this is called Markata Vairagya, monkey renunciation. Opposite, no. You do opposite. Within your heart, you will practice Vairagya. So externally, you just behave like a normal man, do your household activities, so that a father, mother will be pleased. So Raghunath Das, he followed Mahaprabhu's instruction. He went back. So, but after some time, Raghunath Das wanted that he will join Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri. So Raghunath Das was running away from the house. Then his father would send people, catch him and bring him back to the house. So time it would happen like that. One time his mother said to his father, to Govardhan Majumdar, that you should tie this boy. Because he wanted to become Babaji, sannyasi or Bairagi. What they did is, they married him to a very beautiful girl, thinking that once he gets married, then he will not run away, become Babaji like that. But still, he was not allured by this beautiful wife, where his mind was fixed on the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So once his mother told to his father, this boy has become mad. We should tie him in a rope so that he will not run away like this. And father said, by which rope can I tie him? He has wealth, opulence like Indra, his wife like Apsaras, denizens of heavenly planets. That could not bind him, tie him. So by which rope can I tie him? One who has received the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, nothing can tie him. So anyway, in due course of time, though he was trying to run away, Raghunath Das was not able. Finally, you know how Nityananda Prabhu came to Panihati, and Raghunath Das went. Mahaprabhu was there on the bank of Ganga under the big banyan tree. The tree is still there as witness of all the sweet pastimes of Chiradai festival, which has become famous all over the world. All over the world now devotees are celebrating this cheap rice festival known as Danda Mahotsav, the festival of punishment. So Raghunath Das came, and from far distance he offered his Dandavat obeisances. Then somebody pointed out to Nityananda Prabhu that Raghunath Das has come offering obeisances. And Nityananda Prabhu was very humorous. He said, "Oh thief, come here, come here. You are always running away. Don't give your darshan. Today I have caught you. I'll give you punishment." So Raghunath came closer. Then Nityananda Prabhu pulled him and put his lotus feet on his head. This is blessings of Vaishnavas. Not that we have to grab the feet of Vaishnavas, but we serve in such a way, we behave in such a way, we talk in such a way, we internally, externally look so beautiful that Vaishnavas will feel pleased to put their lotus feet on our head. Like Nityananda Prabhu was so pleased with Raghunath, he placed his lotus feet on his head. He said, "I'll punish you." A very interesting punishment. The punishment is, you have to feed the sheep, rice and yogurt to all my associates. Raghunath was very happy to get this punishment. So immediately he gave information to his father, bringing so much sheep, rice, yogurt, big festival. And in Bengal, whenever people they hear of the Mahotsav, in Bengal, just like the Janmashtami. Janmashtami day is known as Utsav. Day after Janmashtami, when Prasad distribution will take place, that is called Mahotsav. Bengal is very famous for Mahotsav. If the word spread, Mahotsav means from somewhere thousands of people will come there. So when they heard this Mahotsav taking place, Bengal is like that. And Bangladesh is another place where this concept of invitation is not there. That you invite somebody to your house. Not like that I'll cook for 10 people and invite 10 people. That concept is not there in Bengal. especially in Bangladesh also. They will just cook. Whoever comes, if it is a small house, small kitchen, when more people come, they don't become worried, wow, so many people came. No, what shall I do? No. They're more happy, they feed everybody. So all these people come, so many people come, there's no place. No. So people take cheap rice, yogurt, they're standing the bank of Ganga, the number of people increasing, some are standing cheap rice, yogurt inside the Ganga water. And hearing this festival taking place, when cheap rice, yogurt finished, then shopkeepers, the salesmen, they brought more cheap rice and yogurt. So Raghunath Das would buy all the cheap rice from them and then again feed them. So finally Nityananda Prabhu also brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus Raghunath was blessed. He was blessed by Nityananda Prabhu. That's why the Vaishnavas, they say, prior to this, Raghunath Das wanted to leave house, take shelter of Mahaprabhu, but he could not do because he has not received the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. By the mercy of Nityananda, we can get Gauranga. By mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we can get Radha Krishna. Nitair Karuna Habe, Braje, Radha Krishna Pave. So then, after this pastime, तार पद धूलि लया स्वगृह आईला नित्यानंद कृपा पाया कितार्थ हईला. So receiving the dust of lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath, he came back to his house, Adi Saptagram, his village. But he never entered into his house. He was sleeping in Durga Mandap. That time all aristocratic families in Bengal, they used to have Durga, every house have Durga temple. And his father has engaged some security to make sure this fellow does not run away. Then Raghunath came to know that time every year Gaudiya Bhaktas, they used to go to Puri to take darshan of Jagannath, to attend Rath Yatra festival. So Sivananda Sen used to lead the group. So Raghunath Das came to know that I will go to Puri. But then he thought, if I go with them, with everybody on the main road, then they will catch me. So he was planning what to do. One night he was sleeping in Durga Mandap, and his guru Purahit Jadunandan Acharya came. And Jadunandan Acharya had some problem is he had some deity. But the boy who was worshipping, doing pujari, he had run away. So he had pujari problem also. It's not like nowadays you have pujari problem. I have seen how our Nitai Charan Prabhu always struggle to get pujari. Gets one boy from Bangladesh and run away. Gets another boy from Bangladesh, he runs away. So not only nowadays, that time they had problem also. They get pujari run away also. So however, so he came to consult with Raghunath, please, he preached to him, he should stay. Then Raghunath came out of Chandi Mandap, Durga Mandap. Then he was talking and going with his guru. At one point he said on the way. Then security people, they saw that Raghunath Das is walking with Gurudev, so no problem. So on the way, he tricked his Gurudev. He told, okay, no problem, you go. So I'll preach that boy and to make sure he continued his pujari service. And Gurudev left, and Raghunath, he never come back. Here in the house, security people waiting. No Raghunath. And Raghunath from that place, even he did not look back. He was always meditating on the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. instead of following the main road, he took a side road. Just walking. Every day, 15 cross, that is 30 miles, 45 kilometers he was walking. And here, they did not see Raghunath in the house, he is not there. Then they asked, what happened? They asked security, where is Raghunath? Raghunath went with Gurudev. They asked Gurudev, where is Raghunath? Gurudev said, he was coming with me. He told, I am going. I am going means I am going to Puri. He didn't mention the Puri. He said, I am going. Please bless me. He went like this every day, 45 kilometers walking. And sometimes eating, sometimes not eating, sometimes he takes some milk and some cow herdsman. So immediately his father sent 10-15 people. He came to know Sivananda Sen going with a group of people to Puri. He wrote a letter. Please, my son has gone with you, please send him back. Then Sivananda said, no, your son has not come with me. So Raghunath Das, in 12 days, just imagine, from that place, Adi Saptagram, from near Calcutta, he reached Puri by walking in 12 days. Every day walking like 45-50 kilometers. So finally he reached Purushottam Khetra. 12 दिने चली गला श्री पुरुषोत्तम पथे मात्र 3 दिन करिला भोजन. Only 3 days he ate. Just see, if somebody develops attachment unto the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, what kind of mood he develops. These are not some external artificial moods. That bhava comes from within. If somebody seriously accept the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that day, Mahaprabhu is sitting there, Swarup Damodar and other devotees. So Raghunath came and offered obeisances. And Mukunda Datta, he pointed out to Mahaprabhu, hey, Aila Raghunath, just see, Raghunath is here. And as soon as Mahaprabhu heard Raghunath is here. Prabhu कहना, Aisha, come here, come to me. And Raghunath ran and fell at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was so happy to see Raghunath. He picked him up and embraced him. This is the mercy. This is the mercy, the exchange of loving relationship. Then Mahaprabhu said he is very happy to see. When Raghunath Das met Mahaprabhu in Advaitacharya house, he said, don't show your Markata Vairagya, go. Live in your house. Mahaprabhu is testing him. How much nishtha he has. He passed an exam. He received the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Then finally he reached Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. So when he came, then Mahaprabhu told him, Haribol, Krishna Kripa Balistha. That Krishna's mercy is very powerful. Krishna has brought you out of Vishya Vistha Karta. That whole filled with the stool of materialistic life. So nice choice to word. Vishya Vistha Karta. This household life for non-devotees, not for devotees. Non-devotee household life, he is saying Vishya Vistha Karta. That means we are fallen into the hole. The hole is filled with the stool of materialistic life. Raghunath, I don't know what Krishna. I know only by your mercy that I am here. Then Mahaprabhu explained, that how your father, your uncle, they are materialistic. Then finally, Mahaprabhu called Swarupa Damodar. The sea, by that time Raghunath was very skinny because so long walking, no eating. Then Mahaprabhu told Swarupa Damodar, listen, Ei Raghunathe ami sopinu tomare. Now I offer this Raghunath unto you. Putra bhritya rupe tumehi karo angikare. You accept him as your son, as your servant. From now he will be known as Swarupa Raghu. Swarupa Raghu aji hoite ihar naam. So from that they call Swarupa Raghu. Saying this, Mahaprabhu personally he caught hold of Raghunath's hand and he gave his hand to Swarupa Damodar. This is how devotee they care for us. This is how spiritual master bring us and hands us over to Krishna. So Mahaprabhu handed him over to Swarupa Damodar. Then Mahaprabhu told, this boy has walked long distance, not eaten anything. Govinda, please feed him something. Then Mahaprabhu, he went for doing Gayatri. So Govinda was feeding him for 5 days. In Gambhira, after Mahaprabhu eat, he was eating prasad for 5 days. He used to go take darshan of Jagannath every day late night. A special ceremony called Pushpanjali. Pushpanjali. Then what he used to do, after 5 days, he never come to eat Mahaprabhu's remnants. He was standing at the Singhadwar. When after Jagannath temple will close, all these pandas, they return to their house. He would be standing there and whatever pandas they put on his plate, he would eat that. That is a common practice in Orissa, in Puri. The sadhus, they would not waste the time collecting, begging, cooking, all these times. They would just do Hari Bhajan and happily spend time taking darshan of Jagannath, chanting his holy name, the blissful life. No bondage, no responsibility, no apeksha. They don't have to wait anything. Of course, Puri is like this. You just go to Ananda Bazar, you don't have to spend any money, just beg little bit, and your stomach will be full. And the whole day you just chant and enjoy life, taking darshan of Lord Jagannath. So this is what they used to do, Vaishnavas. Sarvadina karen Vaishnava Nama Sankirtan, Swachande karen Jagannath Darasan. Whole day they would chant holy name. Comfortably, they would take darshan of Jagannath. So there are so many places that are giving prasadam, food like that. So Mahaprabhu is very happy. Mahaprabhur bhakta sa vairagya pradhan, jaha dekhi pritahan gaura bhagavan. What pleases Mahaprabhu? And all his devotees are very much vairagya pradhan. They are very renounced. Mahaprabhu feels very happy when he sees his followers are very renounced, as much as less attached to the materialistic way of life. So one day, Govinda told to Mahaprabhu that Raghunath is no more coming and taking prasad here. Then what is he eating? He is standing at the Singhadwar, and whatever people they go on the way, they put on his plate, he eats and survive on that. Suni tushta hoya Prabhu kahite lagila. Mahaprabhu so pleased. Wow. Bhalo kahila bairagir dharma acharila. It's very good, very good. He's practicing the behavior of a bairagi. What is behavior of Vairagi? Vairagi karibe sadaha nama sankirtan. They will be engaged in constant chanting of the holy name. Magiya khaiya karehe jivan rakshan. They will survive, they will live upon begging. This is Vairagis. They will not depend upon anybody else. No parapeksha. If Vairagis, they depend upon others. Karja siddhi na hai Krishna karen upeksha. The Krishna will neglect this kind of Vairagi. So, in this way, Mahaprabhu was very happy to see, just see, this Raghunath Das came from such a rich family. So, आर दिन रघुनाथ स्वरूप चरणे, one day Raghunath submitted something to Swarup Damodar that I do not know. आपनार कृत लागी कैला निवेदने. Raghunath Das Swarup Damodar, he approached and told him what is his duty, what for I have come here. Why have I left my house? I don't know, please ask me. Then Mahaprabhu told him, Hasi Mahaprabhu Raghunathere kahilo. So I have given you Swarupa Damodar, he will teach you what to do. Still you have asked me, so I will tell you what to do. So Mahaprabhu gave a specific instruction to Raghunath Das Goswami. Listen. ग्राम्य कथा ना सुनी में ग्राम्य वार्ता ना कहिबे. Don't speak any materialistic things. No ग्राम्य कथा, no prajalpa. Only Krishna katha. Don't speak anything which is not related to Krishna. Bhalo na khaibe ar bhalo na padibe. First line is okay with us, no problem. We can try for that. We try our best not to speak materialistic things. Just discuss Krishna Katha, speak Krishna Katha, listen Krishna Katha, okay, no problem. But second line is difficult for ISKCON devotees. Mahaprabhu saying, bhalo na khaibe, bhalo na padibe. Don't eat good foods. Don't eat nice dress. But ISKCON is very difficult to avoid eating good foods wherever you go. So nice prasads are there. The point is you don't have to imitate that instruction that Mahaprabhu gave for Raghunath Das Goswami. And Amani Manadahaya Krishnam Sada Lave. You always take the holy name of Krishna. Be humble. Don't expect any respect from others and be respectful to others. This is also a very difficult job. Not to get any honor, not to expect any honor and give honors to others. So with this mood, Braja Radha Krishna Seva Manase Kari. In this mood you can serve mentally to Radha Krishna. So in this way Mahaprabhu gave some nice instructions to Raghunath Goswami that I told you briefly. Now Swarup will teach you in detail. So Mahaprabhu, then Raghunath Das Goswami offered obeisances to Mahaprabhu. So in the meantime, all the devotees, the Rath Yatra time came, and devotees, they reached Puri. And Sivananda Sen also came. And Sivananda Sen saw, Raghunath is here in Puri. And his father sent to look for Raghunath, but Raghunath was not with Sivananda's group. But when the group reached after a few days, both Sivananda Sen's group and Raghunath Das Goswami, they left same time, Calcutta, Bengal. But Raghunath came so fast. Sivananda came after a few days. Raghunath Das Goswami reached at Puri. So they would stay like 4 months in Puri, take Jagannath Darshan, then they go. So Raghunath Das Shivananda said, "Arey, you are here. Your father is looking for you. He sent a person, 10 people to catch you with a letter, but you are here." So then, somehow this news reached to Raghunath's father. So somebody told, when Shivananda Sen went back to Bengal, then somebody came to ask, "Have you seen Raghunath?" Then Shivananda said, "Yes." महाप्रभुर स्थाने कह बैरागी देखिल गोवर्धन पुत्र तेह नाम रघुनाथ नीलाचले परिचय अच्छे तुम्हार साथ. He asked, "Have you seen there is one boy called Raghunath?" That man was sent by father of Raghunath to Shivananda Sen. He asked Shivananda Sen, "Have you seen one boy Raghunath? He is son of Govardhan and he has come to Puri." Shivananda said, "Oh, Raghunath, who does not know him in Puri? Parama Bikkhata teho keva nahi jane. He is very famous in Jagannath Puri. He is staying there with Swarup Damodar and day and night chanting holy name." And in course of his description, he told that how renounced life he is maintaining. He is doing bhiksha, begging. Somehow or other he is surviving. And he explained how he is standing at Singhadwar. If somebody gives, he eats. If he doesn't get anything, does not eat. And when this man heard this and went back to Govardhan Majumdar and explained, this is how Raghunath is maintaining. Wow, his heart broke into pieces. Now, the person coming from such a rich family with beautiful wife, was so extreme. Now this vairagya. So his father and mother were so unhappy, so sad. And he sent 2 servants with 400 rupees. "You please go to Brahmanas to help Raghunath Das Goswami." Then they all came to Raghunath Das Goswami. But Raghunath Das Goswami will not accept. 2 persons he sent him back. No, you go back. But 400 rupees he kept, but he used it for the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What he used to do is to invite Mahaprabhu and used to buy some Jagannath Prasad and feed Mahaprabhu. So time to time, यही मत निमंत्रण वर्ष 2 कहला. So until 2 years, for 2 years period, Raghunath was inviting Mahaprabhu and feeding him. अच्छे रघुनाथ निमंत्रण छाड़ी देला. Then he stopped inviting Mahaprabhu. Then when for 2 months Raghunath is never inviting, and one day when Mahaprabhu asked Swarup Damodar, "What happened? Why Raghunath is not inviting me anymore?" Raghu कहने, "आमाय निमंत्रण छाड़ी देला. Why is not inviting me anymore?" And Swarup Damodar said, "Maybe Raghunath must have thought that I am feeding Mahaprabhu with money of my father, who is a materialistic person, and maybe Mahaprabhu is not happy with this, because I am giving him out of his affection, he is forced to eat. But anyway, if I feed him like this, it is like pratishtha. Oh, I am feeding Mahaprabhu with my father's money." So in this way, Mahaprabhu may be not happy, but because if he does not come, I will not become happy. That's why he is just coming by force. Thinking like this, he stopped inviting you. Then Mahaprabhu smiled. Mahaprabhu said, "Yes, বিষয়রা অন্ন খাইলে মলিন হয় মন, মলিন মনে নহে কৃষ্ণের স্মরণ." বিষয়রা অন্ন খাইলে মলিন হয় মন. If you eat from the materialistic people, your heart will be contaminated. Then with that contaminated heart, you can never do Hari Bhajan nicely, because this kind of invitation is Rajasic invitation. The materialistic people, they invite. Rajasic invitation. Both the person who invites and one who is invited, both heart becomes contaminated. So in this way, he answered. So he is standing in the Singhadwar. So Mahaprabhu is very happy. And after some time, Raghunath Das was not visible at Singhadwar also. কত দিনে রঘুনাথ সিংহদ্বার ছাড়িলা, হি লেফট সিংহদ্বার, ছত্রে যাই মাগিয়া খাইতে আরম্ভিলা, and there is free prasad distribution, we used to go and eat there. One day Mahaprabhu asked Swarup Damodar, so every day Raghu used to stand at the Lions Gate Singhadwar. He is no more there now. What happened to him? Then Swarup Damodar said that he is not standing there. He is going to free prasad distribution and eating there. See, Mahaprabhu was happy when he heard from Govinda that Raghunath Das is standing at the Singhadwar and whoever comes puts on his plate and eats that. He was happy. He is very, very happy. Now Swarup Damodar said he is not doing that, he is going to free prasad distribution. Then see the Mahaprabhu's reaction. He is more happy. He said, oh, very good, very good. ভালো হইল, ভালো কইল, ছাড়িল সিংহদ্বার. It's good he left Singhadwar. You know how Mahaprabhu took it? Singhadware bhikkha vritti besyar achar. But he was standing at Singhadwar, it's like prostitute. Behavior of prostitute. What is behavior of prostitute? Prostitutes are waiting. Somebody will come, give me money and enjoy. So Mahaprabhu said, standing at the gate and waiting, oh, somebody is coming now, he'll put me some food on my plate. Oh, this person did not give me any food, maybe next person will give. Whole day will be thinking like this. Now it's very good. Chhatra jai jathala udara bharan. It's going chhatra. So the point is how step by step Raghunath Das' life changing, becoming more strict in his vairagya, more vairagya, and how it pleasing more Mahaprabhu more and more. So much so, the once one devotee, Shankarananda Saraswati, came from Vrindavan, and he had brought some Govardhan Shila and Gunjamala to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was very happy to get, it's like life and soul, Gunjamala. Mahaprabhu used to cry, touch Govardhan Shila on his eyes, thinking this is Krishna. And then Mahaprabhu was so happy with Raghunath Das. Tushta hoya Shila Mala Raghunath Dila. So one day Mahaprabhu gave that Giri Govardhan Shila and Kunjamala to Raghunath. Told him, you do seva to this Govardhan Shila. Sattvic puja. এই শিলার কর তুমি সাত্বিক পূজন। As a ideal Brahman in Sattva Gun, you worship this Govardhan Shila, and what will happen to you? Now, Achirat pabe tumi Krishna Premadhan. Very soon you will achieve Krishna Premadhan by giving this Govardhan Shila. Mahaprabhu indicated, now you take shelter of Govardhan. So later on, Raghunath Das Thakur left and stayed on the foot of Govardhan, Giri Govardhan. Then Swarup Damodar gave one kalash, bring water, give tulasi. Govardhan Sila, Saligram Sila is very easy to serve. If you have nothing to give some water and tulasi leaves, so they are happy with that. So in this way, Raghunath Das took and always Puja Kale Dekhe Sila Brajendra Nandan. He would see Brajendra Nandan on this worship time. So in this way, Raghunath Das Goswami Vairagyar Kathatar Adbhut Kathan, his Vairagya was very wonderful. 7.5 प्रहर जाए कीर्तन स्मरण. Every day 22 hours. Just imagine 22 hours to chant Harinam and meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and whatever little bit he would get here and there, he would eat that. Then finally what happened? Then he did not go anywhere to eat, did not go for begging. What he used to do, he used to collect the rice prasad of Jagannath. Old prasad would be thrown on the street. Singhadware Gaviage, Sei Bhatadare, 2-3 days old rice, they would put it for the cows, to eat. And those rice so rotten, so smelly, the cows will not eat also. And Raghunath Das Goswami would bring that rice and wash it, and he used to eat that and live upon that rice. One day Swarup Damodar, he saw Raghunath Das Goswami. Swarup Gaya, he asked, please give me something. Then he took some of those rice, and Swarup Damodar said, ei amrita khao niti niti. Ama sabar nahi deha ki tumar prakriti. What kind of nature is this? Every day they are eating so nice, tasty things. You are not sharing with us. Then one day Mahaprabhu, he came to know from Govinda that Raghunath is eating this kind of food now. That rice, 3-4 days, rotten rice given to cows, so much rotten, even cow does not eat. Raghunath takes that, washes that inside things that he eats. So one day, Mahaprabhu came to Raghunath Das Bhajan Kutir, that place is still there in Puri. That deity Radha Madan Mohan worshipped by Raghunath Das Goswami is still there. Near our Bhakti Kutir, you can take darshan. Then Mahaprabhu went. Then Mahaprabhu said, Kahan vastu khao sabe more nadeho kene? So Mahaprabhu asked, hey, what are you eating? Why don't you give me? While saying like this, as Mahaprabhu went, and he took from Raghunath, from that plate where this rice was kept, he took one palm full of rice, put into his mouth. Ar grass loite swarup hatete dharila, taba jagya nahe bole kadhi nela. And when second time Mahaprabhu was going to eat, Raghunath Das got hold of Mahaprabhu's hand. Said, taba jagya nahe. This is not befitting, this is not fit for you to eat. But Mahaprabhu said, oh, you are saying not fit for me, but this is so tasty. Every day I am eating so many varieties of prasad. But eiche swada aar kono prasad na pai. I have never got the taste of this prasad with any other prasadam like this. So Mahaprabhu is so happy to see this subject matter. Raghunath Das Goswami, he personally has described this in Gaurangasta Vakalpa Vriksha book he has written. So when Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri, that time, Murari Gupta had written some note diary, different devotees were writing diary. But all those Karcha Karta, the diary writers, none of them were in Puri. Only Raghunath was very close, staying with Mahaprabhu, and he was taking note of all this. And when Vrindavan Das Thakur, he wrote Chaitanya Mangal, which is known as Chaitanya Bhagavata now. because that book became very big, because Vrindavan Das Thakur entered into describing the sweet pastime. Nityananda Prabhu, he is very attached to Nityananda Prabhu. So last part of Mahaprabhu's pastime he could not mention in Chaitanya Bhagavat, thinking book will be too big. Then Vrindavan Vaishnavas, they requested Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, you please write another book describing more elaborately those topics not mentioned by Vrindavan Das Thakur, and especially Mahaprabhu's latter pastimes in Jagannath Puri. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he took information from Raghunath Das Goswami and he wrote this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then after Mahaprabhu sent Raghunath Das to Vrindavan, so it has been described Raghunath Das, his renunciation, his Vairagya, then Pasaner Gira is like a line drawn on a stone. So strict life he was leading. He had no kutia also. I have heard in Vrindavan that Raghunath Das Goswami was doing his Hari Bhajan, sitting on the bank of Radhakunda. One day, Sanatan Goswami came to see him, to meet him, and so he was sitting on the bank of Radhakunda without any kutia or anything. And Sanatan Goswami saw Radharani personally holding her sari on top of him to save him from sun rays, sunshine. When Sanatan Goswami came, Radharani left the place. And Sanatan Goswami became very angry with Raghunath Das Goswami. You are showing too much Vairagya. You are not building your own cottage. And my Radharani has to come and hold her sari on top of you. From today you must build a kutir. Then Raghunath Das Goswami had built a small kutir. And his bhajan place is there on the bank of Radhakunda. All of you must have seen. And how the Radhakunda was renovated, somebody came and gave money. And all these things are described more elaborately. Raghunath Das Goswami wrote very nice some books also. And like this, Mahaprabhu's devotees, this shows somebody develops attachment unto the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how this material world becomes very insignificant for them. They become so fixed. So today we are all blessed to hear a few pastimes of Raghunath Das Goswami. I'd like to thank all of you for giving me this opportunity, for taking your time so that together we could discuss some pastimes of Raghunath Das Goswami. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you, that's beautiful. While we have some questions, can I fire away and ask them to you on behalf of the devotees?
Okay, if you have, they can ask. If they have, they can ask. If I know, I will reply.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. Okay, the first question is, just lost it. So this is from our Nitai Ketan Prabhu. He wanted to know how do we develop mood of Vairagya while still living as a householder?
Householders, you develop Vairagya. Vairagya means you eat nice prasad. That is our Vairagya. By eating nice prasad. And if Nitai Kirtan, he wants to become really Vairagi, then all his bank balance is to donate to me, then he can become Vairagi. A very simple process. But he has to learn about this. You see, Mahaprabhu taught us not the Phalgu Vairagya. He taught us our Vairagya is we engage everything in the service of Krishna. That is real Vairagya. And Prabhupada told that one sadhu was going on in the forest, saw a piece of gold. One normal man was walking to the forest, he saw a piece of gold. Then he took the gold, used for his own purpose. And another sadhu came, saw a big chunk of gold. Then he said, oh, Maya. Then he jumped on top of it and ran away, did not take. And another sadhu came, they saw this chunk of gold and he took it and used for Krishna service. This is called Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha Yukta Vairagyam Uchyate. Our Vairagya is Yukta Vairagya. We don't reject anything. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha. Everything we see in relationship to Krishna. You see, renounce. What shall we renounce? I will renounce means I have something, but I should understand I don't have anything to renounce. I am not owner of anything. In Bengal, there's a Paradhane Poddari. Paradhane Poddari means I am not Malik, owner of anything. I take from others. Everything belongs to God. Now I am taking possession, I am things mine. So that mood we have to remove. Give up that mood. Grihasthas, they can maintain family life very nicely, very attentively, very carefully, thinking this family belongs to Krishna, using all their wealth, everything for the service of Krishna, for serving the Vaishnavas, for inviting devotees to the house, arranging Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, and use all their wealth for spreading the Krishna consciousness. So that is the Vairagya of the Grihasthas. Okay?
There's a private question asked by somebody regarding giving respect to others and not to expect from others. I think it is very difficult to implement. How can this be implemented, especially when life partner not giving any respect or not trust?
Yes, I told that time it's extremely difficult to say Trunadapi Sunichana Tarariba Sahisnuna Amaninang Manadana Kirtanya Sadahari. To memorize this verse is very easy. To give big class on this very easy. When you go to practice, it's very difficult. But the point is, when more we become Krishna conscious, see why we want respect? Because I think I am big. And why I think I am big? Because I am ignorant. I am ignorant of what? I am ignorant of real big. When you are ignorant of real big things, mistakenly you think that you are big. But when the devotees, they understand Krishna, they understand his devotee is so great, then they realize, wow, really, I'm so small, I'm so insignificant, I'm so fallen. So these are the things we just have to realize. No? When we read more and more about Krishna and more about his elevated devotees, then we understand what fallen we are. So in this way we have to cultivate. We have to cultivate this mood. Amaninang manadena. And also, you see, if we may be very tempted to get respect, but whenever you come to a position of getting too much respect and reverence, very uncomfortable. No, it's burden of getting respect. But when you give respect, very simple, very humble, very easy process. No, it makes it very easy, your life very easy. Giving honor to others, that is the how practical way we should understand. People are taking so much respect, all our spiritual master taking so much worship, but don't think they are enjoying it. It's a burden for them. But as a duty, matter of duty, they have to do to deliver fallen living entities just like us. They accept respect out of their mercy upon us. That's why you have to understand the internal meaning of receiving respect from others. So we have to be qualified for that. If you think, oh, I'm getting respect, I'm honored, then that respect will kill us. But if you take, people are respecting, oh, another thing my Guru Maharaj used to say, if anybody respect you, offer you obeisances, then you give it to your Guru, to Krishna. First of all, if somebody giving us respect, we should not think he is respecting me. We should think that he is respecting to Paramatma within me. That should be understood. You and reverence, if somebody respects, okay, be neutral. But mistakenly we think, oh, he is respecting me. But that is not true. He is respecting the Paramatma within me. In the same way, when we respect somebody, we also respect Janitate Krishna Adhishtan. We do Sanman to others. Janitate Krishna Adhishtan. The means exchange of Sanman, giving respect to each other, is the Paramatma within us. So that kind of mood should be developed, but mistakenly, I think I am getting honored. So that is wrong. Then when I respect somebody, I don't like to respect. Oh, he is not an elevated devotee. He is a common man. He is smaller than me. But I don't understand. Oh, you are not giving a respect to him, you are giving respect to the Paramatma within him. That should be the mood. In this dog, we can develop that mood, cultivate that mood of respecting to dog also. So this is a matter of cultivating within ourselves how we don't expect any honor and always feel very comfortable, very happy, because this will bring auspiciousness to our life by giving honor to all the Vaishnavas, what to speak of all Vaishnavas, to all human beings, including all the animals. And you have seen how Sivananda Sen was so respectable to a dog, taking care of so much a dog. One day his dog was missing and he did not eat that night. And his found dog went in advance, reached Jagannath Puri, and Sivananda Sen saw the dog sitting next to Mahaprabhu. From far distance, he offered obeisances to that dog. Not thinking that, oh, you are so fortunate, you have reached Mahaprabhu, not because of that. He was thinking, please excuse me, forgive me, I could not take care of you. You see, when somebody practices bhakti, devotional service, then his heart becomes very, very soft. The devotee's heart becomes very, very soft. So as a result, he is offering respect, dandavat pranam to dog, begging forgiveness, please forgive me, I could not take care of you nicely. And if that is the example been set by the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his parsadas, then from there you have to learn. Of course, we can't imitate that, we can't jump into that mood, but that is ideal. That has to be cultivated, and more we develop in a bhakti, heart becomes soft, automatically that will come. We don't have to impose it on us, that mood not necessary to impose us, automatically it will happen, it will make us humble automatically. Okay?
Beautiful answer. But this question that you mentioned the bhav comes from within, so how can you just elaborate on how we can develop that bhav from within?
That bhava,
Yeah. How can we develop from inside, from our within?
you see, as I told, if we sincerely practice Krishna Bhakti, if sincerely lead a life as per this life schedule given by Srila Prabhupada, every day you do Mangalarti, Harikatha, chanting, so by developing more bhakti, heart will be softened. And heart will be softened, soft heart, you will feel more comfortable, more enjoyable for honoring others, and you will feel more boring, more suffocated to receive honor from others. So that is the symptom of bhakti. Symptom of bhakti is Jagat Prinanam. You see, when you develop bhakti, your affection for others will increase. Others will develop affection. The awe and reverence, respect is not the factor here. Factor is affection for each other. Devotee will see everybody very affectionate to others. So as we progress more in bhakti, spontaneously that will manifest. And sometime, as all different things I said, we should analyze through knowledge. Through knowledge, we should try to cultivate this mood. Like this, that different aspects like that. And sometimes, see, if Krishna is worshipful, he put us into such a difficult position in our devotional life. Sometimes Krishna gives a good blow on our face also to make us humble. The mercy of Krishna. Krishna is merciful upon his devotee. Sometimes he put him such a situation, he makes him humble in front of everybody. So different angle we can see that way this bhava gradually develops within the heart of the sadhakas.
Thank you. Just one more question is, from Mahaprabhu's pastime that we know that Mahaprabhu is the most merciful of God, but yet he used to be very strict as well. So how do we balance that? He was very strict with his disciples, but yet he was the most merciful at the same time.
From that we should learn, we become very strict on ourselves and we become very accommodating with others. We have seen Mahaprabhu in both ways. We should be very strict, but we don't become so strict that somebody's devotional life will break into pieces. We should become strict to make him, not to break him. Mahaprabhu was strict to make, not to break. And he was also very liberal, so that people can make their life progress in their spiritual life. So we have to understand how much strict we have to be with others and how much liberal we have to be with others. And in this regard, I think we should practice our strictness on ourselves first before being strict with others. Sometimes we become very strict with others, but we do not become strict with ourselves. So we practice Mahaprabhu's strictness on ourselves and we practice Mahaprabhu's liberal mood with others.